let's take some time now to settle the body. And to do this, sit comfortably, either cross-legged or in a position that works for you. Make sure that the spine is straight and the head and neck are in line with the spine. Also ensure that the shoulders are back and down, but relax so that you can open the chest and close the eyes and place your hands on your knees in a mudra of your choice. And take a long, deep inhalation. And when you exhale, release all the events of the day. And take another long, deep inhalation now, full yogic breath. And then when you exhale, release all of the interactions and conversations that you've had today in whatever form that they have taken. Just let them all go. And again, take another long, deep yogic breath in. And this time, when you exhale, release any feelings of obligation or thoughts about anything you need to do after this class. And just be here right now. Give yourself this time. There's nothing else that you need to do right at this moment. And we'll now scan the awareness through the body. And before we do that, just ensure that you take notice of any feelings of irritation or soreness or pain in your body, so that when we are doing the practices, you honor that and just work within your range of movement and listen to your body. If something isn't right for you, please do something else, or you may even like to just visualize the practice. It can be just as effective. So returning now to the natural breath and bringing the awareness first to the soles of the feet and bringing the awareness up through the feet into the legs and into the buttocks and up through the fingers and the hands and into the wrists now, up through the arms. Bring the awareness up through the back, into the spine, focusing on each vertebrae on the way up. Bringing the awareness into the neck and into the back of the head now, into the top of the head and into the face, releasing any expression on the face. And moving the awareness up through the abdomen until you reach the heart space in the center of the chest. And place the awareness now in the heart space. And in the heart space, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti. And I will chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to the wisdom traditions, to pay respect between teacher and student and teacher, and to honor our practices and help them to be protected. Breathing in. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinadvadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishabhahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. And now let's begin the practice of asana. So we'll begin with asana, then move into some pranayama and conclude the class with a yoga nidra. But we'll begin with our asana practice. So bringing the legs out in front of the body, Parambit Sthiti, and bringing the hands behind the body with the fingers pointing away behind the buttocks, making sure the spine is straight and closing the eyes for a few moments. And again, just checking in with the body. We'll begin the practices with ankle bending. So moving the feet from the ankles first towards the floor, inhaling as you point towards the floor, exhaling as you bring the feet back. Complete 5 rounds and make it quite a slow movement and place the awareness in the ankle joints. When you've completed 5 rounds, just release the practice and observe the movement of energy in the ankle joints. We'll now move to further up to the hips. So we'll do by bringing the right foot in front of the buttocks and then allowing the knee to fall to the floor. So you can either put your foot on the inside of the left thigh or bring it up, the foot up onto the left thigh. Grab the right leg with the right hand and then the right foot with the left hand. And we'll do a hip rotation in this practice. So guiding the knee around in a circular movement, 5 rounds in each direction. And again, trying to synchronize the breath with the movement, inhaling on the upward movement, exhaling on the downward movement, and just focusing the awareness in this hip joint and just observing what happens with this asana. And then when you have completed 5 rounds on the right leg, ensure that you bring the foot back to the thigh, the inside of the left thigh, and then bring the knee up to the chest and slide the leg across the floor just to protect the knee. And take a few moments to observe the difference between right and left, and then complete the same practice on the left leg. But again, all in your own time. And then we'll also do another hip asana. So for this one, bringing the feet in front of the buttocks and putting the feet together to tali asana, and then allowing the knees to drop towards the floor. Inhaling, bringing the knees up to the arms. Complete 10 rounds in a slow movement, really focusing on coordinating the breath with the movement, and then allowing the knees to drop further to the floor on the exhalation. And just observing how the hips are naturally opening with each round of this practice. And as you reach your 10th round, again in your own time, bringing the knees up to the chest and sliding the legs along the floor again to protect the knee. And then take a few moments just again to observe any effects of the practice. Our next practice we'll move to the upper body. So we will do wrist bending. So for this practice, bring the arms out in front of the body at shoulder height. Point the fingers up towards the ceiling, like you're pushing against the wall. Exhale, point the fingers down towards the floor. This is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds, making sure you're really pushing against the imaginary wall and also pushing down towards the floor. Observing just the impact of this asana on the wrists and the tendons on the arm as well. And after your 5th round, just rest the arms for a few moments. Our next practice, bring the hands together in the heart space. Then inhale and bring the arms up above the head, stretching right up. Exhale, bring the palms back to the heart space. This is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds. And on your 5th round, again, bringing the hands back to the knees, closing your eyes and just observing. Next, we will do shoulder rotation. So bring the arms out in front of the body with the palms facing up, and then place the right hand on the right shoulder, the left hand on the left shoulder, and bring the elbows together in front of the body. Inhale, bring the elbows up, back, and down. Exhaling and bringing the elbows back in front of the body again. This is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds in this direction, and then 5 rounds in the opposite direction. Again, really trying to synchronize the breath with the movement and observing the release of muscles in the tops of the shoulders. And once you've completed the practice, rest the arms and just check in with your body to make sure, again, that your spine is straight and that your head and neck are in alignment with the spine. The chest is open but relaxed. So we're going to move now to a neck asana, but be very gentle with your neck. Really just check in with the first few rounds to better understand your range of movement. The neck can be very fragile, so just be very gentle. We'll do a neck rotation for this practice. So again, making sure the head is in line with the spine. Exhale and bring the chin to the chest. And then move the right ear over to the right shoulder, bringing the head back behind the body and bringing the left ear now to the left shoulder, exhaling as you bring the chin back to the chest. This is one round. Complete up to 5 rounds in each direction. Really slowing it down and observing again just the release of tension and muscles in the neck. This asana is very much like a mini massage. And once you've completed your rounds, again, with the eyes closed, just observe the effects of the practices so far. Well, next, we will do a practice where we'll bring the legs wide apart. And again, making sure that you're sitting up straight. Bring the arms out at shoulder height. And then you're turning first to the right. So it depends on your range of movement and where you are in your practice. So you can either touch the toes if that works for you. If not, and that's fine, just you can hold your hand above where it's comfortable for you, or even just put it on your leg where that's right. So it's a twisting motion, and you just hold for a few moments wherever is comfortable for you. Exhale, come back to center, and then do the same on the left side. Complete 4 rounds so that you've got a total of 5 on each side. And you might find that you can, after each round, move a little bit further, but be very gentle. It should be very smooth and flowing movement, not jerking in any way. And after your 5th round, relax the arms, but keep the legs in this position. And our next practice will be one called churning the mill. So again, making sure the back is straight. Bring the arms out at shoulder height and clasp them together. So basically, it's like you're stirring a big pot. So exhale, bring the body forward, keeping the arms up. Swing the arms over the right foot. And exhale as you do that. Inhale as you come back, taking up at the abdomen. Exhale, bringing the arms over the left foot now. and then back to center. So this is one round. Complete up to 5 rounds in each direction. And after you finish the practice, come back to the base position and just allow the body to rest a few moments. It's quite a dynamic and strong practice, that one particularly on the abdomen and Manipur chakra. And then when it's right for you, come onto your hands and knees to get ready for Majari Asana, the cat posture. So placing the hands underneath making sure they're just directly beneath the shoulders, and the knees are directly below the hips. The head's in a neutral position in line with the floor. Inhale, bring the head up, arch the abdomen down towards the floor, stretching through the arms. Exhale, bring the head in between the arms and arch the back up. This is one round. Complete another 4 rounds. Again, trying to coordinate the breath with the movement, aiming for a really fluid, flowing, smooth movement. And then when you've completed your 5 rounds, come back into child's posture with the buttocks towards the heels, hands out in front of the body and forehead on the floor. If you have any, you've got low blood pressure or anything of that nature, instead place your hands in fists and place your head on your fists just so that your head is above your heart. And then when it's right for you, come up into a standing position, but we'll do this by doing head to foot pose first. So putting the top half of the body over the bottom half of the body. You can either leave the arms hanging loose, or you can actually grab each elbow behind the knees just for stronger practice, and just allow the top half of the body just to hang over the bottom half. And then when it's right for you, very gently roll up vertebrae by vertebrae to a standing position. And when you are standing, ensure that your feet are hip width apart so that you are evenly balanced on both sides of the body. Allow the arms to hang loose by the body. And again, checking in to ensure your spine is straight, the shoulders are back and down, but relaxed, the chest's open, and the head and neck are in line with the spine. Keeping the eyes closed if that works for you. Just allow the body to feel steady and comfortable in the standing position. And now in the standing position, we will do Tadasana, which is the swaying palm tree pose. So now bring the legs wider than hip width apart, and then clasp the hands in front of the body with the palms facing down. Lift the arms up now above the head, stretching up through the middle of the body. And you might find it helpful to actually press the right or the left foot into the floor as you exhale and move the arms over to the right, keeping the arms straight and visualizing that you're like in between two pieces of glass. So you're not moving forward or back, you're upright, arms are straight. Feel that stretch on the left side of the body. Inhale, bring the arms back to center, stretching up in the middle. Exhale, now do the practice over to the left side of the body. Pressing down with the right foot for that extra stretch. Feeling the stretch up the right side. Inhale and back to center, stretching up in the middle. Complete 5 rounds in total on each side. And then when you've reached your 5 rounds in total in your own time again, come back to a standing Shavasana. And again, just observe the movement of energy around the body from that practice. Our next practice will be Chakra, which is another spinal twist. So for this one, again, feet around hip width apart, maybe a little bit more to ensure that you're steady. Spine is straight, head and neck are in alignment. Bring the arms out at the side of the body, and then place the left hand on the right shoulder, wrapping the right arm behind the waist and gazing over the right shoulder, feeling that stretch and that twist in the spine. Exhale, bring the arms out to the side and then back around on the other side with the right hand on the left shoulder, left arm wrapped around the waist. As you exhale, gazing over. Complete 5 rounds in total. And it's up to you how dynamically you do this practice. Some people like to move quickly, others prefer to do it slowly and then hold to really feel that twist. And when you've completed the practice, again, come back to standing Shavasana. Again, just observing. And we'll do one more practice before we do a balancing posture and then move on to pranayama. So for this practice, bring the legs out quite wide, as wide as you can without sort of doing the splits, so that you can comfortably stand. And for this one, what you're going to do is you'll bring the arms up above the head, stretching up and almost arching the back a little bit. And then a really deep yogic breath in. And then to release it, you will exhale and sort of make a noise as it's sort of escaping. I'll demonstrate first. Go and then allow the arms to swing between the legs. And then inhale, big, deep yogic breath in, up again, stretching up, arching the back, and then like a real sudden release of air. Up again. Complete 5 rounds in this way. And then come back to standing Shavasana once you've completed it. And then you just allow the breath to return to normal, come back to the natural breath. And again, just observe. And observe not only the movement of energy and the effects of the practice in the body, but also the mind. Observe what your mind is doing and how your mind is responding to these practices as well. Our last asana will be a balancing posture. We'll do the one-legged prayer posture, which many of you are already familiar with. So for this one, make sure that you find a spot on the wall that's not moving so you can fix your gaze. It's much easier to balance that way. We'll begin with the right foot, so balancing on the right foot. So place your weight on the right leg and then bring the left, inside of the left foot, either inside the ankle, if that's right for you, depending on where you're at in terms of your practice, or even how you're feeling today, because it can vary. Or you might want to bring it on the inside of the calf, if that works. Don't put it on the inside of the knee. If you can go through the full practice, you can bring the left foot inside the right thigh. When you're feeling stable, bring the hands together in front of the heart space. And then if you're feeling steady, bring the palms above the head and stretch up and hold for your own duration. And then when you've completed the practice, bring the palms down, bring the knee in front of the body and place the foot on the floor again. Complete 3 rounds on each leg. I should do the other side myself. And after your final round, come back into a comfortable sitting position for pranayama, some yogic breathing practices. So closing the eyes and again checking in that the spine is straight and head and neck are aligned. Ensure that the shoulders aren't hunched over, but they're open, so you can open the chest. And place the awareness at the nostrils and just observing the natural breath And observe how the natural breath causes the abdomen to expand, and then the chest expands. And then on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. And just observe how this just happens spontaneously. And our pranayama practice for this class will be Viloma. So I'll explain the practice first. So it's basically, Viloma is about doing one side, so either the inhalation or exhalation, we'll do both, but in separate rounds, where with one you actually do it in stages. So the breath needs to be a full yogic breath. So you're making sure you're expanding your abdomen, your chest, and your upper chest on your inhalation. So for the first round, we'll do 3 times. We'll do it on the stages on the inhalation. So what you'll do is you'll inhale a bit and pause, inhale further, pause, and then complete the full inhalation. And then it's one complete exhalation, so no pausing on the exhalation. So you pause 3 times on the inhalation and then one long exhalation. Then once you've completed those 3, we'll do the opposite. So what we'll do is we will breathe one full yogic breath in, and then on the exhalation, exhale a little bit, exhale a bit more, and then complete the full exhalation. This practice helps to expand your lung capacity and also helps with your breath control. It's a simple practice, but it's actually very, very effective. And when you've completed that, again, take your time. Just saying my instructions. When you've completed both rounds of Viloma, in terms of the inhalation and exhalation, then lie down in Shavasana to prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra. Make sure when you do lie down in Shavasana that you are comfortable and warm, just so you don't need to move throughout the practice. If you need any cushions or any coverings, please get those now. If you're wearing anything tight, it's a good idea to loosen it, take off any tight jewelry or glasses or anything of that nature, just so that you can fully relax with the practice. And in Shavasana, ensure that the legs are about hip width apart and all tensions release from the legs so that they flop to the sides, and the feet loll to the sides as well, and that the arms are a little bit away from the body with the palms facing the sky. And ensure that there's balance between the right and the left side of the body, and that your head and neck again are in line with your spine. And you may like to just to check this by tucking your chin in just a little. And take a long, deep inhalation now, another long, deep yogic breath in. And as you exhale, allow your body to melt into the floor. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time when you exhale, release any remaining tension in the body, particularly in the face. So allow any expression on the face to go. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw or even clenching the muscles behind the eyes. Just let all expression go. And now observe the body against the floor, the feeling of the contact between the body and the floor. Beginning with the heels against the floor. Observe what it feels like with the heels against the floor and the back of the legs against the floor. And then move that awareness to the buttocks against the floor. Feel the back against the floor and the backs of the hands and the arms against the floor. And now feel the shoulders and the back of the neck against the floor and the back of the head against the floor. And while these feel like different points of contact, when you observe the body's contact against the floor, observe how it feels like just one point of contact between the body and the floor. Become aware now of sound. Listen for sounds way off in the distance. Don't try and identify or name the sound. Just move your awareness from sound to sound as you hear it. And now move your awareness to sounds just outside the room that you're in. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound as you notice it. And move your awareness now to sounds inside the room that you are in. And now move the awareness to sounds and sensations in the body, beginning with the heartbeat. And now move the sounds and sensations of the awareness of these sensations to the natural breath. Observe the sound and sensation of the natural, spontaneous breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space because it can often emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body to listen to my instructions. And as I name a body part, place your awareness there. Mentally repeat the name of that part and visualize that body part. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, the hip, right thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. We'll move now over to the left side of the body with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And we'll move now to the back of the body, beginning with the heels, the back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, the entire spinal column, the back of the head, and the crown of the head. And moving around now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows, and the eyebrow center, the ears, the eyes, the nose, the lips, the jaw, the chin, the throat, and the pit of the throat, the collarbones, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, and now the whole body. Have a sense all at once, the whole body. Release the body rotations now and return the awareness to the natural breath. Observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural, spontaneous breath. And we'll now add a visualization to the natural breath. For this visualization, on the inhalation, you will feel warm, energizing light filling your heart space. On the exhalation, You will release anything that does not serve you, whatever that represents for you right at this moment. So inhaling warm, energizing, healing light into the heart space on the inhalation, the exhalation, releasing and letting go of anything that you need to right now. And if the mind wanders, remember to use the breath just like an anchor to bring it back to the practice. Release the breath visualization now, and instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body is feeling lighter and lighter. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor. It feels like it's hovering above the floor. It feels like it's as light as a cloud and it may drift away at any moment. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, as though it's barely touching the floor. Release this feeling of lightness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy that it feels like it's made of concrete and it's pressing against the floor. It feels so heavy, it feels like it might even fall through the floor. The arms feel heavier, the legs and the torso feel heavier, and their head feels heavier. The body's feeling heavier and heavier, and it's pressing against the floor. Release this feeling of heaviness now and replace it instead with a feeling of coldness. The body's feeling colder and colder. The body feels like it's outside on a freezing winter's day. The hands and the feet are numb through the cold. The nose and the face burn through the cold, and the eyes water as the cold wind irritates them. And a shiver goes right through your body to the bone. The body's feeling colder and colder, like it's outside on a freezing winter's day. Release this feeling of coldness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels like it's sitting in front of a roaring open fire. The face feels hotter. The hands and the feet feel clammy with heat. And heat radiates from the heart space throughout the body. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's sitting in front of a roaring open fire. Release this feeling of heat now, and instead allow the body to come back to a space of equilibrium and release all of these sensations completely. And instead come to the space of the mind now, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize and create the following objects and images. You are standing down at a riverside and it's dusk. The sun is nearly gone for the day, but you can still see the light, but the light is really diminishing quite quickly. And at the side of the river, you see candles that you can light and make a wish, and they float along the river. And so you take the opportunity to light a candle and with all your heart wish for something that you've always wanted to happen. You can smell the sweet smell of incense in the air and the sound of the birds who are just getting ready to go to sleep. You light your candle and you make your wish and you send it off along the river. And you turn around as though you know it's time to leave, but when you turn back, you notice the river is now full of lit candles and you see them everywhere. There's no one else there but this beautiful sight of these candles floating along the river. So you walk up again and you gaze at the reflection of the candles as well. But what you notice is that you see your own reflection in the candle light, and there is a steady candle flame at your heart space. And this flame is there to grant you any wish that you desire. And knowing this, that you have this power within you, you know it's time to leave and to come back to the room that you are in, lying on the floor now, and still feeling the joy and the surprise of the magical moment that you've just left behind. You call to mind now your Sankalpa, or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now, and if you don't have one, leave some space for it may emerge on its own. And begin to feel the breath now in the body. Allow the breath to deepen and observe how the breath creates movement in the body. Observe how the back moves against the floor on the inhalation. And check in with your body to see how you're feeling at this moment. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. Begin to remember the room that you're in and the details of that room. Remember the color of your mat, the color of your coverings, the walls and the floor. And remember the time of day. And now begin to hear the sounds around you and remember the world attached to those sounds. Begin to make small movements with the fingers and the toes, allowing the body to gently externalize. Begin to move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may like to gently move the head from side to side, or even lie on your right side for a few moments. Taking your time, there is no rush. Moving within your own time frame. And then when it is right for you, come up into a comfortable sitting position, facing this way, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, with the aim of trying to protect the peaceful state that you've created. And now we'll scan the awareness through the body like we did at the beginning of the class, and just compare how you feel now compared to when the class began. So moving the awareness now through the soles of the feet and up through the legs and the knees, into the thighs and the buttocks, up through the fingers and the hands, up through the arms and up through the back, focusing on each vertebrae on the way up, into the shoulders now and into the neck, the back of the head, the top of the head, and into the face, moving the awareness up through the abdomen, and then allowing the awareness to focus on the heart space. And in this space, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, We'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the practice. Breathing in. Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.